Hey yo prodigies, ProdCharles here, and in this video I'm going to share with you all of the theories for Tattletail that I have done in January of this year. I'm making this video because I've seen many comments with people asking me about things that I have covered in depth in some of these videos. In the description you'll see a list of the topics covered in this video with timestamps and links to the individual videos that they stem from. Prodigies, please remember to subscribe and tap that bell if you do enjoy these Tattletail theories because there will be more to come. Stay tuned for a February compilation update when March rolls around, and remember to let me know about the concepts covered in these theories and what you think actually happened. Just quickly before we begin, I'd like to thank all of the prodigies out there that have been liking and commenting on my videos. I really appreciate the likes. They actually help a lot with videos. Alright, I'm going to stop yapping now. Get ready for the theories in 3, 2. A Tattletail theory? You betcha! Hey yo everybody, ProdCharles here, and in this video I'm going to share with you a theory explaining why Mama attacks you in Tattletail. Let's start with what we know. Mama's story involves her collecting all of the baby Tattletails, every single one of them. We also know that the Tattletails dislike Mama. They even pretend to have a party for her, but in reality they just set up a ritual to banish her. We also know that the Tattletails come together in order to get rid of her. The way they avoid her is by playing hide and seek with each other. Next, we know that Mama doesn't mind if baby Tattletail is alone, but if one of them's picked up, her instincts kick in and she chases you. The VHS tapes also reveal that Mama is somehow linked to the death of one of the Waygetter commercial employees, i.e. the VHS tape. We know that she's responsible because none of the other Tattletails turn hostile towards humans in the game. Because collecting all the eggs gives the good, special, or secret ending of the game, she might also be programmed to see the eggs as her children as well. We also know that the Tattletails are handmade, and we find this out in the good ending by checking the Tattletail product tag. And finally, we know that the Tattletails have some kind of sentience. There's absolutely no way that a manufacturer would program a toy to say something that would prevent you from buying another one that it actually made. Unless it was intentional. Hint hint, Waygetter merch opportunity. But in general, that's not really going to be the case. Got all those facts? Now let's bring it all together. Mama is possessed or cursed in some way. As all the Tattletails are handmade, it's not unlikely that each one has some kind of AI tweaking or magic cast on it that would cause it to act and say things that don't seem normal for a children's product. Mama's cassette tape also reveals her story, and the audio cassette tells us that it involves her collecting all of the baby Tattletails. In reality, it might be showing a strong sense of protectiveness over them in the game, because she only comes after you after you've collected the Tattletail for the first time. The problem with this is Mama is way too overprotective, and she's extremely aggressive. She somehow has the ability to teleport, but she tends not to move when you stare at her, or when she's in the light. These might have been programming tweaks that caused her to chase after you in the first place. The fact that she teleports and gets banished via the Tattletail ritual is a sign that supernatural powers are in force. So what does this all mean? The Tattletails either plainly do not like Mama or are aware of the murders she is linked to through the VHS tapes. This would make even more sense if the Tattletails performing the rituals are the same ones from the tape, as the tape took place 2 months before the ritual, and the Tattletail we own was manufactured 10 months before the ritual. However, there were 2 purple Tattletails, 2 yellow Tattletails, and 1 blue one in the commercial. But there was only 1 purple Tattletail, 2 blue Tattletails, and 2 yellow ones in the actual ritual. As you can only get the good ending when you've collected all of the eggs, it might be a hint that Mama can only be put to rest when none of her children are scattered around, or if you can serve as a suitable replacement for her. After all, it is her job to collect every last one of them. The bad ending suggests that she was still doing her job as Mama, and either she was collecting the Tattletails, or the Tattletails were hiding from her. So at the end of all of this, it seems highly likely that Mama was possessed by some sort of AI tweaking, or some sort of supernatural power that was imbued in her during the manufacturing process as she was handmade. All of this might also have led to Mama's production being stopped, and her being banned from being sold. Playing through the game makes it extremely clear that Mama is not suitable as a child's toy, because it goes on a murderous rampage and, as we've seen from the VHS tape, has the potential to kill people. No matter what the case, there's no denying how fantastic a game Waygetter Electronics has provided us, and we can only be excited for new updates and perhaps even a sequel to expand on the lore of the universe. Another Tattletail theory? You betcha! Hey yo prodigies, ProdCharles here, and in this video I'll be sharing with you another Tattletail theory, and this one will explain whether or not Mama Tattletail is our mum. Let's start with what we know. We know the Tattletails hide from Mama because they thought she couldn't find them if she couldn't see them. In addition to that, we know that Mama relies on the pitter-patter of their feet in order to catch them and put them right back to bed. Which, by the way, is really important, so remember this because it foreshadows the story of a real mother who would do all of the same things. Another thing is it's Christmas time. Our parents bought the presents and they don't want us to see them. We're just adventurous enough to go into the basement and open them before Christmas time anyway. Although we don't know what her function is, we know that Mama is a psycho, and it's clear that she's not operating as intended to play audio cassette tapes and interact in a friendly way with the baby Tattletails. It's also important to understand that Tattletail is the story of how Mama was banned. The events of the game are supposed to give reasoning for us to see why. And finally, the Tattletails were a popular line of toys back in 1998. As the trailer mentions that everyone remembers the talking Tattletails. Now let's put it all together. We can see that Mama is there to keep her children from going back to bed, much like a real mother. This could be Mama's purpose, and she might have been sent out by our own mother if she bought it, or it could be our mother's dream if there are supernatural forces at stake. And in extreme cases, Mama Tattletail might just be going around trying to find and get all of her children back to bed. In the case of Mama being a dream, what if the player themselves is stuck just dreaming on the nights leading up to Christmas? More accurately, is he having a nightmare on each night up until Christmas? We see that the player always starts and ends the game off by their bed. So what if this just means that the player is conquering a nightmare, and on each night the events are so traumatic that it feels real? This would explain the strange supernatural activity, Mum not appearing in her room when you look through the window, and the arrival of the other Tattletails. But despite this, Mama being a dream doesn't seem very likely, as the game is about how the Mama toy was banned. In the case where she is a guard or an additional present, or even in the case where she goes haywire and searches for all of the baby Tattletails, Mama is clearly crazy, and she's obviously not working as intended. This all points to Mum not being our Mama, as she wouldn't go out of her way to harm us in any way, unless there's something that we don't know about the family situation. Remember that the Tattletails are a line of super popular toys, and our Mum probably just wants the best for us, so she went down that route and didn't want us to find out about it. That being said, she may have gotten Mama as well as a big surprise for the player, but this is unlikely because we never see Mama wrapped up in a gift box throughout the game. On the other hand, she might not have been wrapped up yet, and she may have been sold without a box. Looking at the Tattletail products tag, they were manufactured in February of 1998, and the Mama Tattletail might have been a second hand, or just didn't have a product box at all, which isn't all that uncommon. What do you think? I think that regardless, since Tattletail was so popular, Mama didn't have to be bought by our mother in order for her to start roaming around and finding all of the Tattletails. It might even have been one of the neighbors' Mama Tattletails that let itself loose, because it sensed the other Tattletails in the other homes, and it was our home that it decided to target first. Another Tattletail theory? You betcha! Hey yo prodigies, ProdCharles here, and in this video I'll be sharing with you another Tattletail theory, and this one will explain whether or not Mama was actually banished. Let's start with what we know. We know that Mama gets banished when you collect all of the Tattletails and eggs and destroy the VHS tape, and the VHS tape was dropped by the yellow Tattletail that plays hide and seek with us. Another point to note is the VHS tape is a supernatural object, as a regular VHS tape cannot switch between scenes in real time, as if it were programmed on a disc or a USB, or even a live feed. We also know that the Tattletails are capable of laying eggs, as this is what's written on their product boxes, under the part where it says they really eat, and the Tattletails return to their gift boxes when you banish Mama. Finally, Mama doesn't get banished if you don't collect all of the eggs. Now before we put this all together, you might want to watch my other theory on why Mama Tattletail wants to kill you in order to understand why the Tattletails might be sentient. It's okay, I'll wait here for you. Back? Alright, let's continue. It's obvious that the Tattletails are trying to banish Mama. They start to appear in numbers and hand over the VHS tape when they realize they can't play hide and seek with Mama any longer. They know what to do, and they lead us to the eggs that will help us reach our goals. The VHS tape shows the terrible things that we assume Mama has done, as body bags and actual dying or dead bodies appear throughout the tape while Mama teleports. So this is probably the Tattletail's message to us, warning us about what she is capable of. The Tattletails stage the ritual as a party, and they try to make it easy for the player, who is a child, to understand what to do in order to set up the ritual. Mama clearly doesn't want the ritual to finish, and does everything in her power to stop it, going so far as to steal all of the candles and hide them in places and ways she thinks you might be weak to her attack patterns. We see that not collecting all of the eggs results in us finding an empty gift box, and Mama jump scaring us. So we can assume that if the Tattletails aren't put back where they're supposed to be, in the sense that Mama wants to put them back to bed, she can't be stopped. This raises an interesting question posed by a viewer. If we take Tattletail out of its gift box, and if children all around the neighborhood are taking their Tattletails out of their gift boxes, then wouldn't that release Mama from her being banished? As we've said, Mama would do anything in her power to make sure that the children are put back to bed. So wouldn't removing Tattletail from the gift box grant her the power to return? This is an interesting point, and I think that she is still banished because we collected all of the eggs, and collecting all of the eggs is what allows us to achieve the good ending. Going back to my why Mama wants to kill us theory, Mama just wants all of her children, even the eggs, safe. And collecting all of the eggs is what triggers her to be banished for good. The empty gift box may just be baby Tattletail playing hide and seek in the bad ending, as it can sense Mama nearby, because Mama is looking for the remaining eggs, and is just doing her broken AI possessed demon thing. What are your thoughts? Remember to subscribe and tap that bell for more Tattletail theories and interesting horror game videos. I try my best to upload at least 3 times a week, and Prodigies, I really hope that these guides and theories are helping you to expand on how you think and help you with how you go about your thinking in your daily lives. See ya!